Do you ever feel that food is constantly on your mind? Do you ever feel that your whole life revolves around food and eating and what you eat and what you won't eat and when you eat and all of that? If so, stay tuned because I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why this happens and also 3 solutions so you can stop it from happening and gain back your freedom. So let's start with the third one, and this is the most obvious one, and it is eat enough food. I cannot stress this enough. If you're currently restricting your food take in any sort of way, it can be that it's actually your body sending you all these thoughts about food because there isn't enough energy going in, there isn't enough nutrients going in, and so your body is trying to get you to eat more. So your body is actually thinking that starvation is coming and that there is not enough food, right? So what happens is that it's also trying to get to the most calorie dense source. So usually when you're experiencing constant food thoughts because of this reason, you will usually crave really calorie dense foods. And you have to eat enough. I remember when I was trying to eat 1,000 calorie diet, I would rely on willpower and self-discipline and hope that I'll make it through the day. But I felt like crazy around food. So I tried to restrict and restrict and restrict. And oftentimes this would result in a binge later on in the day. Or if I would make it for that day, I would lay in bed at night feeling hungry and I would fantasize about all the different foods I will be able to eat once I'm done with this specific diet or eating regime. If your goal is to lose weight and you're restricting your food so you will lose weight, let me tell you, you can lose weight by not restricting, by not feeling deprived, by listening to your body and eating every time you feel true hunger. It is possible. And I didn't know it at the time. If I would, I wouldn't be on those 1,000 calorie diets back then. But I'm telling you now, it is possible. I did it myself. I helped so many clients do it too. So if you're wanting to lose weight, there are other reasons why you're not losing it. I actually created a really cool quiz on that will tell you what exactly is blocking your weight loss. So if you're interested in that, go to tiashaslana.com/blogs and it will take you to that quiz. And now the second solution, how you can stop feeling so obsessed with food, is to allow all the foods. Now, this step is the scariest one of them all. Usually what I hear from women is, no, but if I will allow all the foods, I will gain weight. I will just start eating way too much of it, and I'm gonna eat super unhealthy foods like junk foods. And they don't want to do it at first. But what I always say is that sometimes we have to do the hardest step and then everything else becomes easy. To just prove how all of this works, I want you to think about your favorite foods that you kind of classify as bad food and you put it on the forbidden foods list. So you kind of try to avoid it and it's your trigger food. So perhaps when you have it in the house, you eat way too much of it. Okay, have it? So now I want you to imagine that this food will disappear from this planet tomorrow. So from tomorrow on, you won't be able to get it anywhere. It will just disappear. Like you will not even be able to recreate it. So tell me, what will you eat today while you still have access to this amazing food? Yes, you will probably eat that very thing, assuming that you chose your absolute favorite food that you really enjoy and you classify it as bad and you try to avoid it. That's the thing, right? When we forbid ourselves something, we want to have it. This is just how it is with everything. When we can't get something, we think about it a lot and we want it. So when you restrict yourself from your favorite foods, you're going to be thinking about them a lot. And it's not going to be helpful. And let me tell you a story about a client of mine. She loves chocolate cake, but she always tried to avoid it because she classified it as something bad. So she tried really hard to avoid that cake. So every day at her work, she had multiple food choices. She could have salads, she could have other meals, and there were also desserts available. So there was actually always chocolate cake available. And usually she chose a healthy salad for lunch because she thought that that was the best thing for her and for her weight loss. And she avoided the chocolate cake, and her plan was not to eat the cake. So she would have a salad instead because she thought that that was the best for her body and to lose weight as well. But what happened was that after she ate her lunch, she couldn't resist the cake anymore. She just always, day after day, said to herself, okay, just today, I'm just gonna have it today, and tomorrow I'll be good again. I won't have it, right? So even though she was restricting it, she was thinking about it all the time. It was not just with cake, it was also with cookies and all other sugary foods, and we made all of those neutral. And that really, really helped her because when you make foods neutral, they lose their power over you. So, what I recommended to her was that instead of resisting that cake and using all her willpower and self discipline to avoid it, that she actually had that for her lunch instead of the salad. And at first, she was totally against it. Like, I cannot have cake for lunch. And I said, why not? Why can't you have cake for lunch? And she said to me, no, but if I will start allowing this kind of things, I won't be able to stop it. So I guided her through the process. And what happened was that she allowed the cake and she had it the next day as well for lunch and the next day as well. But then something shifted. She just suddenly didn't crave it anymore. And that is the magic of it. When you allow the foods that are super, super triggering for you and you allow it without guilt and shame and all of that, but you just fully allow it and you give yourself permission to have it and to have it as much as you want and whenever you want, something happens in our brains that we just suddenly stop craving it as much because we know we can have it anytime we want to have it. So why have it all the time, especially if that's the kind of food that you don't really feel good after you eat it? Because our bodies are always, always speaking, they're always guiding us. And of course, there are foods that are in alignment with our bodies, and there are foods that aren't in alignment with our bodies, or let's say that are in alignment with how we want to feel and that are out of alignment with how we want to feel. So, if we want to feel energetic and healthy, then there are going to be certain foods that will be in alignment with that, right? And so, for example, my client didn't really feel her best after eating chocolate cake, so she started craving it less and less and less because naturally we want to feel great. And when something is fully allowed, and you don't feel that great after you eat it, I mean, you stop craving it. Well, that's usually the case if it's not some heavy emotional eating present, which we are getting to in the next solution. And I want to share my own example as well with this, and it's with pasta. I used to restrict pasta a lot when I was still struggling with food, and I just didn't allow myself to have it because I thought it was bad for me in all sorts of ways. But then, as I started doing this work, I started to allow it, and for a few days at a time, I had nothing but pasta for every meal. So, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the next day for all of my meals. And the next day, by the third day, I think it started to kind of slow down and I stopped craving it. But I really fully allowed it. And whenever I felt true hunger, I allowed it and I ate mindfully with all my senses, which is important. And if you'd like to learn more tips on that, I just created a video that will help you with that, where I shared 7 ways of mindful eating that aren't boring, but are actually really cool. So if you want to learn more about that, check out this video right here and you will see. So if you are feeling true hunger, fully allow that food. And when you're feeling satiated, stop eating. And if you cannot stop eating when you're feeling satiated, I have a video on that as well, which I'm going to link right here as well. Okay, so we are at our final solution, number 1, which is something that not a lot of people know about, but it can cause a lot of problems. And it is that you have to deal with emotional eating. Now, how do you know if you're eating emotionally or not? First things first, I want you to really, really get to know the signs of emotional eating. There are big, big, big differences between true hunger and emotional hunger. I have a video on that as well. I'm going to link it here. But just quickly to go over it, True hunger is gradual, it's patient, it's pleasant, and it's open to many different foods. And emotional hunger is exactly the opposite. It is urgent, it is sudden, it comes like a lightning, and it wants specific foods or nothing is really good enough. I found there is one specific type of emotional eating that is very connected to positive emotions, and I call it the antidepressant. And when you're experiencing this type of emotional eating, what it means that you're craving certain foods because there's some emotions attached to those foods. So you're not really craving those foods, but you're craving the emotions that are stuck in those foods. Does that make sense? So what I want you to start doing is that you always check in with your hunger. Am I feeling true hunger or am I feeling emotional hunger? And if you're feeling emotional hunger, definitely go deeper and ask yourself, okay, what am I really craving here? If this is emotional hunger, if it was urgent, sudden, and it's unpleasant, and want specific foods or nothing is really good enough, what am I truly craving here? If that craving, if that food was an emotion, what am I going after? Do I want to feel happier, more joyful? Am I craving more love, more comfort? What is it that I'm craving right now? And if you cannot really determine what you're craving for, what you can do is also think about that food that you're really, really wanting. And of course, make sure that you're fully allowing it and all of that, because it might be just that, right? But think about that food and think about the past. When did you eat that food in the past? Because what I found is that we can have a lot of memories with foods. And so from those memories, you can see what kind of emotions might be stuck in that food. Food can represent so many different things to an emotional eater. It can be vacation when you need it. It can be relaxation. It can be love. It can be a partner. It can be a friend, a good conversation. I mean, emotional eaters can find everything in food. And I did it. I mean, I had all the types of emotional eating. And if you are interested in learning more about that, if you can recognize yourself in this, I created a special masterclass where I teach all the types of emotional eating and everything you need to know to break free. So if you're interested in that, go to tiashaslana.com/masterclass, or again, click the link here. I have many links for you today. So we have come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope these tips will be very helpful for you once you start implementing them. And I would love to hear how it's going, so drop me a comment, and I'm so looking forward to reading it. And if you have any ideas or questions for me, anything that you'd like me to cover in one of my future videos, tell me in the comments below as well, and I'll do my best to do a video on that. All right, you guys, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.